Welcome back to Grappling Legacy Lounge. I'm actually getting the hang of our name now. Finally,
Tongue twister
I
name.
think we're on. Yeah, I think we're on episode 19. We're here with Cesar, who is a brown belt, 4th stripe. You just got your 4th stripe, right?
That's right, 4th.
From Pika Pow Jiu-Jitsu and grappling. So welcome. Thanks for
Awesome.
coming on and
Thanks for having
dealing
me.
with Gabe and I. See that nice little scratch on Gabe's face? So hey,
Is that fresh?
congratulations! He made it to state yesterday.
Yeah, I did.
So
Awesome.
IHSA
Yeah.
state. So
No, I know that's why I don't see him that much anymore. Is
Yeah.
because he's
yeah.
Yeah.
So we got like 1 or 2 more weeks of wrestling, and then we'll be back.
Yeah,
into the
gonna
gym.
be back beating me up again.
Yeah, the year,
Beating both of us up.
the yearly wrestling vacation.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll just jump right into it, man. Grappling, right? So you've been grappling for quite a while.
Oh my god! Sometimes I forget like how long I've been grappling for, but
You're what? You're my age, right?
just turned 49.
Yeah, yeah. You're my age. So Master 4, almost Master 5.
Yeah.
Dude, how do you find it like hard to find like matches?
Oh my god! Right now it's just everybody's talking about the next couple events coming up, and you look in the brackets. There's nobody.
Nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think somebody said it best is like we're unicorns. It was you.
Did I say that?
Or something like that. It's just a rare, you
It
don't
is
find anybody
rare.
our
It is
weight
rare.
class, our age,
Yeah.
and at that level, or at brown belt, I should say.
At our level. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. So it's yeah. It's
Unless
so
you
freaking
already
hard.
went against them like probably 2-3 times already.
Right.
Yeah.
And even like you just did Master Worlds last year, right?
Yep.
How many did you have in your bracket?
It was 12 or 13.
Yeah, see, that's pretty good.
That's
That's pretty
It's a
good.
good amount.
I
yeah.
think the most I had was probably a blue belt, and I think there were 16. So that
That's
your
right.
biggest
but
bracket?
then again, I was younger then too.
And that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
not everybody has like 50 people in the
Right.
bracket. Like
Right.
when you see these like blue belts, they do these bracket and winner faces.
Right. They
You
do
know
the
what I mean?
4 quarters.
Oh
and
my
then-
god, that would be a dream for
Yeah.
us. You know what I mean?
Can you imagine all these old guys just.
going at it.
And then
the
like
insurance companies would have to sponsor.
when the brackets are not numbered, that's where I get confused, like, going by based on like who's ranked higher to
Right.
high seed, low seed.
Yeah.
So I think at Master Worlds there was an odd amount of competitors. So
Well,
I
there-
fell into either, how does it go? Like they get buys or something.
Yeah, they get
like
to buy.
that.
I think it's on points.
Something like
I think
that.
that's
yeah.
how they rank them.
Yeah, but there was guys in there. They were like 4 times the amount of points that I had,
Yeah.
and I had tried to compete a lot last year. So I thought going into Worlds I would be like, somewhere mid tier.
Yeah.
But
The problem is you have to get IBJJF points, and like they only come around here twice a year, and there's not like traveling distance. Like Indianapolis, you could travel to. I don't think they do Minnesota anymore.
California has.
Yeah, California
you know,
has a ton,
Right.
and these guys, especially guys at our age, as we just said, there's no one in any bracket. They're traveling to get like
The points.
just the points. So they'll go and they'll collect a medal when there's no one in there. I saw a post yesterday of somebody that was holding 4 gold medals, and I know they're in our Master 4 divisions. They're heavier than us, but 2 of them, his divisions. So he did gi and no gi, and there was nobody in their brackets, but they took the gold medal for the points because that helps you in your seating for like the bigger ones, and then they got extra points because they won gold in the absolute.
Because there's nobody.
Nobody in that one either.
No, there's people in that one. So,
Oh.
Ideally, I mean, he did win 2 gold medals, and
Yeah.
2 were just handed to him because there's no one in the bracket.
But you're gonna get points
But you
based
get
on
points,
all
all
4
4 of them,
medals
yeah.
versus
Yeah.
the 2 that he.
What I don't know is I know you get points for making the podium, but I don't know if you get more points for gold than you do for silver. I imagine you would. To me, it
You
would
probably
make sense you
do,
would.
yeah.
And you get more points too by submission versus winning by points,
Yeah,
right?
I think so.
No.
So, cool. How did you start in grappling? You didn't wrestle in high school, did you?
No. I wish I did.
Yeah.
I feel like the wrestlers just have that, that extra
Yeah.
go that I'm missing, or even when I started grappling. My experience started with my brother was doing jiu-jitsu already before me, so he was always the blue belt. I was the white belt. When he got his purple belt, I got my blue and so forth. But we started, I want to say it was in 2002 or something like that. I mean, it was
Okay.
early. It was, but it was never consistent. Like
Yeah.
I didn't have, like I was where I was training at first. I got to train with a guy named Brian Wells, who was brown belt at the time for like Jeff Curran, but he had his own, and it was actually in St. Charles. Like,
Okay.
and so I went with him like twice a week, but you know, it was very, no, not bad. It was great. It was just the fact that I, you know, knowing what you know now, to like, you know, being able to, like, we were just probably just doing, what do you want to call it? Like, I mean, yeah, we were doing jiu-jitsu, but
Yeah.
it wasn't, what am I looking for? It just wasn't
It was
what
more
it is
like-
today.
But it was more like wrestling style, right?
Kind of, but we were missing a lot of, again, nah, I'm not bashing them. We'll keep that out.
Okay. All right. Yeah,
Um,
that's fine. So that was your very first experience. Does your brother still do it?
Yeah, no, my brother, right, he's black belt under Jeff Curran.
Oh, really?
So yeah, so he trains just as much as like I do. Like you know, we're both dads, so
Yeah.
you know it's hard to
It's
find
hard.
time.
It's
Now
hard.
that my kids are older, obviously I have more time now than when I did before.
Yeah.
So I think that's what kind of prolonged my jujitsu journey.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I wasn't training consistently, and then I trained a couple months, and I just I don't know. I just felt like I couldn't get motivated, and I think that the thing that motivated me the most was probably competing.
Competing.
Yeah.
When did you first start competing?
I did get competed as a white belt, so I competed. I was already training under Jeff Curran at the time, because like I said, I was training with Brian Wells, and that was just. So my brother, this is how it actually started. So I'm like hanging out where I think I was on the passenger side of a car, and then my brother, who was a white belt, but you know, this was after the UFC, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, the Hoist Gracie
Hoist,
winning
yeah.
and everything like
That
that.
was in the
And
90s,
we were
right?
talking about it, and I think I was lifting weights, and I thought I was, you know, pretty cool. I was
Yeah.
wearing
Yeah.
tight shirts, and
Yeah.
you know, my little guns were. And I was like, and he puts this, you know, a straight choke on me, like a cross choke, with my hoodie, and my eyes started watering. And I think that's what kind of opened my eyes to like, well, man, I got to try this. Like, it was
Yeah.
pretty cool. He's like, man, he's like, come on. He's like, so he paid for my first membership, right, for my
Oh, that's
first
cool.
month. So that's when I got to train with Brian Wells. He, so like I said, I trained Tuesday and Thursday. I think I bought me a gi online. It was like an Atama, and back then you bought it. You know, it wasn't Amazon or eBay. I don't
Right.
remember the time. I think there
Right.
was eBay, but we might have bought it from like a magazine or something like that.
Oh, is
So you
that
got
right?
it shipped, and then.
Gabe has no idea what that's like.
Right, that's what I'm
No,
saying.
you know what
It's
I
so
mean?
There's just
different
websites
nowadays.
for it that
Yeah.
sell their own stuff.
You know, we didn't have AI.
No,
then,
right.
You know what I mean?
We didn't. Well, in 2002, the internet was still.
Developing.
Gosh, I don't think Amazon was around in 2000.
Right, that's what I'm
2002.
saying. I mean, the internet was, what do you call it with the phone dial? What
Yeah, it was dial-up. It was
Dial-up.
You still
Right.
had the
You had
keyboard
AOL
on the phone.
You had AOL.
Right.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't think you got to
Yeah,
use
so
the
online
internet.
shopping wasn't a thing.
No, the way you actually learn new techniques. And so my brother was actually much more consistent than I was in his early years. He competed a lot as a blue belt. He was, so I'd watch him. So I think my brother was the one that kind of motivated me to train more.
Yeah.
You know, you always kind of follow your brother's footsteps, right? I'm sure.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you have,
Oh yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah.
so I think he was a big inspiration in my jiu-jitsu journey.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I watched him compete a lot, and I was like, man, I want to do this. So I competed as a white belt, and I did pretty good. I got a couple medals, podiums, but I was missing that something. And I
Yeah.
think it was the wrestling, because like I started, I was 22, 23, and when you're training maybe not consistently,
Yeah.
and you don't know what wrestling's like.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's it's a different game. You know what I mean? And I think that's what I was always missing. So I was always a person. I mean, that I was always comfortable being on my back.
Yeah.
You know, instead of hitting doubles and so forth, because I lacked that the rest.
Sure. Sure. I do feel like the ability to pull guard and have a good guard takes wrestling out of it. the disadvantage, and we're going to get to this because when I first met you, it was because we competed against each other.
Right.
We were foes before friends, which
Right.
is so funny. And it's not foes like,
And
oh,
it
I
wasn't
hated you or
even
anything
foes,
like
to
that.
be
No,
honest.
It wasn't.
It
It wasn't
was-
totally.
It was really cool because after I got to know you, I mean, the first time, I mean, you were super cool. Like, you were very professional. I think that's what I really liked about you. I mean, because sometimes you go against a guy that's kind of
You go against some cocky guys.
I don't want to say a dick, but
Yeah,
yeah,
but
you
they
know what
are.
I mean. Somebody's
You're
just
not
like
wrong.
I've had somebody like choke me out, and then you're just kind of like, you know, after you finish
Yeah.
a round, sometimes you're just kind of like, you're
Right.
like that last exhaust, and he was just like, get off of me. I was just like, bro.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? It wasn't that serious, but I was like, cool. You know what I mean? But I get it. You know, you want to have that killer instinct
You
through
do.
that whole
Right.
bracket. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So
Yeah.
it takes that. But I think with you is like every time I saw you, you'd even come up to me, shake my hand. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Even though I trained at a different academy, and you're right. And it wasn't even so much foes. I think it's just more like, you know, previous gyms had.
Yeah. Back in the day, they all had like animosity towards each other, right?
Right. Yeah, but the
So-
energy was different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
Now it's, cross training nowadays. It's like
It's actually like,
it's very strange to
yeah,
compete
it's
now.
like encouraged.
Yeah.
right.
It's very strange to compete now. Well, also we're older, so that helps. I think, like when you're in high school, from my wrestling days, I couldn't stand any other high school. I always thought they were the enemy. You know, even though I knew these guys and.
So you got to wrestle all 4 years in high school?
No, I didn't. I actually stopped wrestling. Probably, I would call myself a part-time wrestler in junior year. Because of my head injury that I had, it really messed me up. Like I got slammed so many times, I'd get concussions, but back then we're talking like 93, 94.
The training was different too?
It was tough. It was tough, but like because you're getting lifted and returned, and no one taught anyone how to fall. Like I never knew how to break fall until I started doing jiu-jitsu. So I'd land on my head. You know, I'm using my head as a post, and it got to a point where I'm like always dazed and confused, and I'm just like, you know what? I need to live. You know, if I want to have a good life, I don't want to be brain dead by the time I'm a senior. So that was kind of like the thought process there. And I was always cautious about my head. In my headgear, I tried to make extra padding on the one side because it felt like it was a soft spot still. So yeah, I didn't get to. Unfortunately, I wish. Looking back, I mean, I can't change it. So looking back though, I wish I could have went all 4 years. It would have been a lot different. At least I feel like it would have.
I wish I did too. I think the only sport. No, we did. I don't think we had. You know, my family. We were poor. Not that we were poor, but it was just really hard.
Yeah.
So like me asking my mom, hey, I wanted to play basketball. You know, the commitment. I
Yeah.
think, and then
Yeah.
it was just really,
It's
it was
tough.
tough.
It is tough.
And then, like, yeah, anything I wanted to do, my parents were, it was just, not that they were bad or anything like that, it just, we couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
So I just got comfortable with just being lazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I get that too. I was very fortunate that we were able to do it, or I was able to do it. My brother is the one who inspired me to do it as well. So, but I mean, I took a long period away from grappling. I didn't start after my junior year. I didn't start grappling again until he was 5. And
I was going to say, because we're the same age, so
Yeah.
if you, after wrestling, what happened after
I got-
years of wrestling if you
I
went
got
to
fat.
college?
I got fat and lazy. I mean, I was focused on my career because I didn't go to college, so I was focusing on a career because I didn't know what I was going to do, and then it just got to a point where I literally did get fat and lazy into IT and focused on my career to try and educate myself because I couldn't afford college, so there's no way college was not going to happen. So I read a bunch of books, took exams, got certifications, and yeah. So, and then when we had Gabe and he was going to school, he was small. And I'm like, I don't want this kid to get picked on, and kids are mean and whatnot. So I was like, let's put him in something that could build his confidence. So we found Carlson Gracie, and he was grappling before I was. I sat and watched one of his classes with Aaron, and I was like, huh, this looks like wrestling. So I didn't really realize what jiu-jitsu was. And so then I took an adult class and then never looked back. So, and my consistency is really because of him. So his classes were around at the same time. So yeah. And our first match was blue belt. Mm-hmm. So how many years were you
And that's
training?
the thing. So I wasn't like nowadays. You get a guy that trains consistently. You get your blue belt in like 2-3 years.
Yeah.
I was a blue belt probably for 7-8 years.
Yeah.
I was a 7-year blue belt, and no, I take that back. I was a white belt for about 3-4 years, but from that time, so I was a blue belt for about 7 years. So I didn't get my purple belt probably until like 9 years into jiu-jitsu. I know my numbers are not adding up right now, but it's just the time frame, like, because I didn't train consistently.
Yeah. But there's a lot of people like that. There's people in our gym that are like that.
But we didn't have a lot of different academies. Like now you can go train, cross train other places and stuff.
But that doesn't mean like if I had my own academy and I had someone that was training with me, but then would disappear, like I gave them a blue belt or they're a white belt, and they trained with me for a little while, and then they disappeared, and they may be training somewhere else, cross training, blah blah blah. Maybe not at a home gym, if you will, and then comes back like a year later. I'm not going to just give them a blue belt because you don't know that,
right? Absolutely.
So that's probably what happened to you then.
No, it's just,
so it sounds like anyway. I don't
know. No, it was me.
Yeah.
It was me not being consistent. I didn't train. I did my white belt for like the 3 years. I competed, and then I got my blue belt. Jeff gave me my blue belt, and then from my blue belt to, actually after my blue belt, I did the whole when you get your blue belt, you kind of disappear.
Take a break.
Yeah, and I think at that time, I might have had my youngest kid at the time, and I think that was the toughest. Trying to be a dad.
Yeah.
And then just things going on in life kind of it made it really hard.
Yeah.
And then until I think I started training again, I met my instructor before with Aaron. I was training LCCT.
Yeah. You were there because that's where you were at when we met, right?
I was with him for about 8-9 years.
I didn't know that you trained under Jeff Kearns.
Yeah.
That's cool though.
Yeah, and
he's a good guy.
Oh, Jeff's awesome. I see him now. He's great.
Yeah.
My brother still trains under him. He got his black belt from him.
How old's your brother?
He's 7 years older than me, so he's got to be 55 right now. And
is he bigger?
Oh yeah, he's about 60 right now, 160.
160.
Maybe a little bit heavier. And I'm being nice right now. Yeah. But no, he's a little taller and just a little heavier, so he's got great leg locks still.
So did you know Joey then?
Yeah, I knew Joey when he was a white belt.
Wow, no kidding.
Oh man, when Joey was a white belt, I was already training probably I thought I was a pretty tough. I might have been a blue belt already or close to.
Yeah.
And when Joey came in, he was probably 16, 17 years old. I rolled with him the first time, and man, I could not sweep him. I was like, this kid, why is he just so grounded to the ground? He's just like, And then he had the wrestling. And I didn't really understand that yet.
Yeah.
Because I was still like very clueless to jiu-jitsu, to what it is today.
Were you clueless to jiu-jitsu or clueless to wrestling?
Obviously clueless to wrestling, definitely.
Yeah.
I thought that for sure it was just, I had no clue. But now you see the difference, like the way wrestlers train.
Absolutely.
It's a lot different.
Well, I think even wrestling training-wise has evolved since when I was doing it. Because when I was doing it, nowadays they do warm-ups and they do a lot of gymnastics type warm-ups, where they're doing all these different flips and stuff like that. We didn't do that as much. We ran a little bit, and then we did push-ups, sit-ups, and jumping jacks. And then it was, let's go and drill, and then we drilled, and then went live for an hour. So it was open mat for an hour. But you always stayed with the same person.
Yeah, with Joey, though, he just took off. He took off in the sport. But that was the difference because Joey was consistent. Yeah. Joey was, and I think Jeff saw that in him, and that's the consistency that I think it takes to get to that next level.
Yeah.
Oh, that kid was just there all the time. He was already, I think he did an MMA fight before he was 18. I mean, I saw him get split open, and he was just, he was tough. Actually, because at that time when I was training with Jeff, one of his boxing coaches, when he was Jeff Mango's, Mango Boxing.
Did you do boxing too?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So that was the other thing is like, so I did the 50-50. I did Muay Thai, boxing, actually all three. So I did the Golden Gloves. So that's why I think my jiu-jitsu wasn't consistent.
You competed in Golden Gloves?
Oh, yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
How'd you do?
I got my ass kicked.
Really?
But no, that's the thing. So maybe that's why it took me so long to get, like, because now I just don't even, like, if I grab gloves and hit a bag, it's for cardio. It's not at all trying to. But no, I did that for a while because I did an MMA fight.
Did you really?
Yeah. Yeah,
Man.
I got my ass kicked too.
Wow.
So that's why I think it took me so long. Because again, it was very different back then. It was like it wasn't no gi. It was all jiu-jitsu. So nowadays, and I think that's where like I started noticing like the wrestling was a big factor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Underhooks, like just, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I relied on grips a lot.
Even on,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
How was it with our first match? That's the only
Our
thing.
first match was a no-gi match.
Well, the one that I think I had the choke was because I relied on the gi, right? But otherwise, with no gi, like, I mean, I still suck. But
We went 1-1 that day, I think, right?
Yeah, I had.
Because you had me in the gi and I had you in no gi, I think it was.
Right, yeah. And I relied a lot on the gi, so when I tried to do no gi, I was still trying to grab onto things.
Yeah.
So, but like I said, jiu-jitsu back then was a lot different. It
is.
But it was me that wasn't consistent enough.
So I would actually say, I'm wondering, like, because I was thinking about, this is a topic, I'm glad we're on this, because I was thinking about this recently. I was watching, we were at New Breed. I was at New Breed, and I was helping coaching, and the white belts started going, and they're in the gi, and like these kids, everyone's a kid to me, right? They could be like 35, they're still a kid to me, but they're going and they're scrambling and all over the place and not getting any holds or anything.
Utilizing the gi.
Yeah, they're not. Well, some of them were trying to utilize the gi, but like not very well, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I kept thinking, like, were we this bad when we were white belts? So I'm wondering, was it jiu-jitsu or is it just our lack of knowledge?
The lack of
You know what I
knowledge.
mean?
I think you hit it on the money right there.
Yeah.
I think it was a lack of knowledge, not knowing.
Yeah, not knowing.
Right.
But like that's part of the journey, right? You got to start from zero.
Because I don't think it wasn't there. Like how you can get it now just on the internet. Like,
Yeah.
hey, you know what? I wanna
It
get
is
this.
easier accessible.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
The access.
Mhm.
It wasn't easy to get.
Yeah.
Then.
No,
You
that's,
had
you
the
use
way
a
you-
magazine.
So let me tell you a story real quick, and this is like it's not even a story. This is how you learned moves.
Yeah.
So Barnes and Nobles. My
Yeah.
brother was like, so he's really into reading. He likes. He's an engineer, so
Okay. Yeah, so he's always looking at designs and stuff like that, right?
Exactly. So he would always go to Barnes and Nobles, and he would spend 10, 15 minutes instead of buying the book. Sometimes, like he would buy some of the books if he liked it, but I
Right.
mean, if there was some, he would look. And I think I remember a story. It's a true story. I hope my sister doesn't get mad. But anyways, he was like looking at something, and he was really into it. And he's like, "Wow." He's like, "This is nice." And he said it like maybe a couple times, and he didn't realize that there was a woman over there next to him. She turned around, gave him like the dirtiest look because he was implying
he was looking at the magazine,
right, and she thought he was just like, he went back into the technique and all. But it was just a funny story. But that's how you actually like learned something back then. And then you had to wait for the next month,
right? Because there's no YouTube.
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
It didn't exist back then. And even if it did, people weren't posting.
And the magazines back then were, was it something grappling?
It wasn't U.S. Grappling or so. It was
Because Jeff Curran was on it one time. So
Yeah.
when he was on it, it was actually a cool thing because it was like, man.
yeah, because that's your coach.
Right. So, him being on there, and I think I remember they came to, I don't know if they did it at the gym. They came and did video. There was always people taking video there when he was there.
I see the videos now, like, because he's doing his Jeff Kearns Invitational and stuff, and he's like not just posting, but like, I went to the first one, and he had like this huge intro video, and it was all like him in his gym,
Yeah.
like from the beginning of time to current. I was like, it's so cool that they documented that, you
Yeah,
know?
and it is. He's got a really good story. So, and I got to see a lot of it. I'm super grateful for like Jeff. He was probably one of the ones that, other than my brother, you know what I
Yeah.
mean. That was my first instructor.
Very influential.
Oh,
Very
he was.
influential,
Yeah,
right?
he was awesome.
Yeah.
But I saw like when he was next to the currency exchange for many years. That's where I started, and then when he went to the big one, when he was in the WC,
Yeah.
and that's when he fought Uriah Faber,
Yeah.
and then after that, I mean, there was a long story about it, and my nephew, who is about his age, I keep trying to get them two together. He did something really good for the gym because like Jeff's had a history on his from the gym, you know, after COVID and a lot of things. So my nephew did like something really good. He's an Eagle Scout.
Yeah.
So like when you become an Eagle Scout, you have to
Yeah.
do something.
Oh yeah, you have to. There's a big project for it.
Right.
My dad's an Eagle Scout.
And yeah, I didn't know that Kyle Perkins was an Eagle Scout too, or maybe
Is he really?
one of the either him or Joey or something. Like they were very so because they actually trained my nephew.
Okay.
So when my nephew was probably 5 years old, I got pictures of Joey and Kyle like they've been
That's
training.
cool.
Yeah, so it's like, so they know him now, and he just got his Eagle Scout, so it was a pretty cool thing. But he did something pretty good that he gave back to the community or to the gym of Jeff. I shouldn't know what it is, my nephew, but he got a big award for it. It was pretty cool.
Was that his Eagle Scout project?
Yeah, that's what it was, and
Yeah.
it took months to do. I mean,
That's a big deal, man.
Yeah.
Like Eagle Scout, being an Eagle Scout is like being a black belt in jiu-jitsu. That
Yeah.
it takes that long, you know.
because you're gonna since he was little, the commitment too that my
Yeah,
brother had.
exactly.
So that was the other thing why his journey
Yeah,
probably
it took
was kind of
longer.
spotty.
Yeah,
you know what I
well,
mean, too.
Boy Scouts and that whole process it's consuming,
And I think that's where
and it is a commitment. You're right.
I wanted to be a Boy Scout
Yeah.
because my brother was one.
Yeah.
And then my mom was like, "No, we can't because it's just the commitment, the money, and you know." So then, it was tough. So maybe that's why my brother now just tries to give my nephew what we
Yeah.
couldn't have.
Yeah.
And not that our parents, it's just times were tough.
It's
for them.
it's different,
Right.
You know. And I get that in a way because like I put him in Cub Scouts when he was
Yeah.
little before we did. No, it was during like when we first started doing jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And like it was great, but I ended up at that age, the parents are doing all the work, and it was so tiring for me, and it was taking away from jiu-jitsu and stuff like that. And I was like, I think we'll get more out of jiu-jitsu than we're gonna get him out of this.
Yeah, 'cause it was like, I feel like we were doing more of like the fundraiser things than like
Yeah.
anything else. It was like selling popcorn the whole time. It was
Yeah,
like,
it literally was. We were
Yeah.
sitting outside of Walgreens. And
yeah.
selling
I
popcorn.
feel like I didn't really like it because like, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
Just going to see my friends. That's kind of it.
Yeah.
The cool thing I think from being an Eagle Scout, from my understanding, is that he's got so much knowledge. He
Yeah.
can start a fire,
It's-
obviously.
yeah.
With he knows how to do like survival. Like I mean, if he was
yeah.
on,
Totally.
yeah, he'd be able to survive for days where I'd probably be already gasping for.
Yeah. Right.
know,
No,
help.
you learn a lot. Like, not just outdoor stuff, but like you learn a lot of like trades. Like
Right.
you could literally go and build a house.
Build a house, yeah,
Some
out
of
of
these
scratch.
guys, so, yeah, I think it's important for young boys to do stuff like that.
It's
Right.
definitely a
It keeps them
It's
motivated.
crazy skill
too.
to
Yeah,
have.
it keeps them
too.
motivated. It gives them challenges, makes them think.
confidence.
Confidence. Yeah. So there's a lot to it. It's very relatable to grappling.
Oh, absolutely.
So.
I think so too.
Um,
And having a good coach. I think
absolutely. I think that's key.
Yeah,
I think that's key. Like you were talking about with Jeff, right? Jeff's a great coach.
he is.
He
He is.
And then he's probably a hard one to follow up with. So or to follow or not follow, but like move on from.
Right.
So and then there's like Joey. Look what he did with Jeff mentored Joey. And Joey's a good coach too. He's got
Joey's
like
awesome.
one of the most thriving gyms in
Yeah.
Chicago
Joey's
right
awesome.
In Illinois right now, like they're letting like all like the tournaments like
Yeah,
around
if you
the,
look
All
like
the ADCs.
all the
yeah.
ADCCs,
all the
and
ADCC, Grappling
even the, like,
Industries,
even the local ones like
Yeah.
the Grappling Industries.
yeah.
And
I feel like I
Legacies
think
and
I think the only ones he doesn't win is like IBJJF because like
he doesn't have an affiliation.
yeah
with
because he
IBJJF.
doesn't have enough people and like all like
no,
the
he just doesn't
affiliates-
have an affiliation, so
Yeah,
he's
'cause-
not registered.
yeah
with
because like the tag teams and the Carlson Gracie's just come in.
yeah. Well, Oh, tag team. I thought you said tag team.
No.
But like they're also winning like those. What was the one that the Maxim? That
Oh,
they have
did
where-
they just win that?
Yeah. Yeah. It's like
It's a team of 5-on-5 or
the team
something
of
like
5
that.
on 5.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they do really well in competition.
Being able to like see him start from the beginning to where he's at now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And he's super awesome. When you go to over there to, I haven't
Yeah.
been there
Yeah.
I've been usually just kind of relaxing now Sundays.
Yeah.
But I used to try to go there like often, and every time I go there, Joey was just always so cool.
Yeah.
Like he's just the nicest kid. He's
Yeah.
just,
I often tell people that he's probably the nicest person in like grappling that
Well, he
that
is.
that I've
Yeah.
run across.
and the thing is, he knows how to turn it on and off.
Yeah.
Like just
Yeah.
it's and he's playing, and you watch him, and he's just totally playing. You know what I mean? He is. And then what is
I
crazy?
have a story about him about him playing and turning things on and
Well,
off.
that's why I asked you. I go, have you got to roll with him? And you were like, oh, I haven't had the chance to yet until like I think you guys had
Right.
when you're black belt, right? You had a match with him, or I don't know if that's your story, but I'll let. But
That is
anyways,
it.
when I asked you finally, you were like, how'd you do with them, right? Not that I was expecting you to say, oh yeah, I caught him.
Yeah, I caught him.
no, it's just like you were like, oh, he just man. I laughed, and I think you kind of looked at me, and I was like, no, he kicks my ass too. It's
Yeah.
just the fact that I was kind of seeing what. Yeah, and the thing with him, I just watch him, and I just totally see him. And then the worst thing about it is like sometimes when I'm over there, not in a bad way, it's more humorous that I'm rolling with him. He's having a conversation with somebody else. And
Yeah.
he's just,
Yeah.
you know, I think he was with Matt Lim was over there one day, and I think Lim just came back from somewhere. He was on vacation, and he was like, oh, yeah, I've been over. And the whole time he's got me like a pretzel. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and
he's
Matt Lim is like huge.
Right, yeah, but Lim is rolling with somebody else, and Joey's got
Oh,
me
he was doing
like,
it too. Okay, got it.
yeah, Joey was rolling with me,
Yeah.
but you know, he's being super nice, but
Right.
the whole time he's talking to him, they're going back and forth, and I'm just trying to act like, okay, I'm gonna talk to them too. I go, yeah, I'd be good too, you know. I just, yeah,
Meanwhile, you're trying not to die.
yeah, and then he just, I don't know what he did,
Yeah.
but super nice about it. And the
Super
thing
nice.
with him is just has so much control, like you know what I mean. He knows
Oh, yeah.
exactly how to go to like that 1 to 99, right there, and then
Yep. And then
You
dial
tap-
it back.
yeah.
You know? Yeah, you're right.
He also has a cardio tank.
Yes, he does have a cardio tank. But he does, the guy, he's amazing. He really is amazing.
And it goes back to consistency. Like that
Yes.
kid, since
Yes.
I watch him like grow up, he was always grappling. He was
Yep.
under Jeff like the whole time. I think he coached for Jeff. Like he was that's why I think when Jeff and him fought at the same grappling show, and they both he did something special for Joey. Like at the very end, he hugged him. You can tell like
Yeah.
that moment was surreal because he
Surreal.
was
Right.
a big inspiration to him.
Yeah.
And I've never really seen Jeff get like emotional. Or, not saying that he was crying. It's just you can tell like it was like it meant a lot to him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I think the older we get, the more emotional.
Oh,
we
yeah,
get, you know?
exactly.
Because especially when you see like someone you know that started, and they start at the bottom and they just work their butts off to get to like the top, you know, and you're proud of that. Not,
yeah.
Not just as a coach, but like as a coach too. You're obviously proud of that, you know.
And I think that's what we were trying to say before. I think having a good coach
Yeah.
is important. Like Jeff was a great coach. It was me at that time. I think I was just moving and
Oh, it's not your
divorce
priority.
and
You
just
had
a lot of things going on in life. Let's just go life.
Right.
And I think it wasn't my time. Had I would have met him maybe later, then like man, I probably would have got
Yeah.
my black belt from him and stuff like that.
Sure.
But yeah, and then like I said, when me and you met, I was with Luis for
Yeah, you're at LCCT.
yeah.
Right. And then, you know what's funny about our first match is going back to that is that we were in Wisconsin. Like I thought about
Yeah,
that this morning.
That
like,
was, but it was always they always had it. It was a
it was grappling corners or corner. I don't know.
I know I don't see him anymore.
Combat corner.
Combat
That's
corner.
what it was.
That's what it was.
It dawned on me this morning, like knowing that you were coming over here. I was like, we were in Wisconsin, but like we could have met at any tournament there's like a tournament every other weekend now. Well, back then there really wasn't, but
Well, yeah. So that anytime I wanted to compete, and I think at the time I was trying to compete more. Every time I'd go look online to see if anybody was in the bracket, there was always one freaking guy in that damn bracket all the time. I was like, yeah, I'm not going to that one. So then I go to the next one, and there he is again, Richmond. I'm like, man. So then I was like, fine. He was in Chicago, right? And I think it was like, you know,
It was IBJJF.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was getting so prepared for that one. I think we were just.
It was you, me, and Zito.
Yeah. But the cool thing was, and it was like, was probably, I think everybody experiences when you know who you're going against, right? And
Right.
you're in the event center or whatever, you know what I mean? And then it's like, there he is, you know what I mean?
There he is. And then
right.
you're trying not to make eye contact.
Right. And then you finally do it, but then you came up to me. That's why I said you were
Yeah.
always so cool. You came up to me with a smile, shook my hand as a man. And then, you know, and then when we saw each other, like, you know, even when we shook hands until, like, the ref came in and said, whatever, you know.
Fight or whatever.
Yeah, but right
say.
after that, I knew
Yeah.
you turned it on. It
Yeah.
was like, it was over. It was, you know, it was war.
So it's funny. There's very few people that I would talk to before a match. You were one of them, and then Zito was the other. And to be honest, I didn't want to talk to Zito. He'd just come up and talk to me.
He came to talk to me, too.
He was the one that would broke the ice on that. Like, I would never. And even now, like, I put my headphones on. I wear that hoodie that says "Don't."
not disturb.
Because, yeah, it's like "Do not disturb."
Pace it
Because
back and
I'm
forth.
trying to, like, get a game face
Right.
on, you know?
I get it. No, I
But,
understand.
like, I don't know. If Zito came up and he'd just be like, whatever, I don't care what that
He was super nice to me, too.
Yeah, he was awesome.
I was, like, trying to, I think I had my beats on, and I was over there trying to, he came up to me and, like, hey, what did he say? He was something like, you okay? Like, he was trying to break the ice, like
Yeah,
I said, like,
yeah.
and then I was trying to be, too, but, like, I couldn't be, like, you know what I mean? So I, like, we talked for a little bit, I smiled at him and stuff, and then I don't think I got to go against him because it was, like, it was weird, like the bracket place and where I was at, and I lost my first match, and I already lost you once, and I went through all this, and I lost in the, so I was so disappointed, and then I think you guys went twice.
Yeah, I think we did go twice. He beat me twice, I think, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I ended up I took third, he took
Yeah.
first, and you
Yeah.
took second.
Okay. Yeah, they do the round robin so weird.
And then there was another time we went. Was it just those two?
Did we ever go against each other when we were purple belts?
No, I never got
'Cause
to
that was-
compete.
That was
So-
COVID years,
Yeah,
so that was hard.
I didn't get to compete as a purple belt. I wish I did. You're right. During COVID years, it was. I mean, there was tournaments.
Yeah, I competed.
No, I don't think.
I went to Masters. I did Masters. I know that.
Yeah. Oh, I followed you after your blue belt. After we competed and we became friends on Facebook, I watched your journey. I always liked your stories or liked your stuff. You know what I mean? So, and I watched. Yeah, you went to Worlds as a blue
belt.
purple,
Yeah.
brown.
Brown. Yeah.
Yeah, you're consistent through the whole. Yeah, through my purple belt, it was just it was COVID, and then as soon as I got my brown, well, it was a time then when I kind of just.
You got your brown belt at LCCT, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I remember. Where were we? I remember you coming into Pika-Pow because I got my brown belt at Pika-Pow.
Right.
Actually, I got my brown belt on the podium at Masters from Pika.
Right.
From
I saw
Aaron,
it.
from
Yeah.
Aaron, which was by far the coolest promotion ever.
Absolutely.
Everyone should experience that at some point. At least, at any level, doesn't matter, but just getting promoted while on a podium, even if you're in like second or third place, I think this is cool.
I think that's what I watched. That Aaron was always, like I said, I got to watch yours from, what is it, the grappling website that we use?
Flow.
Flow.
Yeah.
So I get to watch you, and I say Richmond, and I mean, I'd always follow you because I got to compete against you, and I was like watching you be so successful, and I think that was one of the reasons I wanted to come to Pika-Pow.
Yeah.
Remember, because I messaged you, I'm like, hey, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I remember that.
And I wanted to come over there and check it out. And then I was just going through something like for my previous gym.
Previous, yeah, right.
And then I never looked back after I
Yeah.
went over there. It was...
Dude, when you came in, when you messaged me, and I was like, yeah, dude, just stop in. Aaron's got an open door policy, as long as you're cool, which is awesome, and I think it attracts a lot of people. So it was cool when you walked in and then you rolled. I wasn't sure if you were coming back, but like something told me that you were coming back,
and like I was saying before, is like I watched Aaron would be like while you were around, like Aaron was coaching.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, man, this guy's going all the way to Vegas with him. He's
Yeah.
going like...
Yeah.
And I think that's what I was kind of missing, having somebody there.
Yeah.
Like, man, that's...
like we said, it's
the
about
time.
the coach, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I competed as a blue belt, and my old gym. So I had Luis didn't go, but Thiago went, which is his brother.
Mm-hmm.
And he coached me and
Yeah.
everything. I won my first one, lost my the second one. But I think that's when I started realizing that IBJJF was a little different. There was ways of using
It is different. It's a different game.
using the system, I guess,
Yes.
to your advantage.
Yes.
And not understanding and not having a good wrestling yet at the time, was definitely would be beneficial now. I would say.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I think
Because even when I came in with you, like I was taking a wrestling class. Remember?
Yeah.
I was asking him for wrestling advice.
I asked him for wrestling advice.
Right.
So.
No, and I mean he was little. I was like, hey, what are you doing? Like, he was like, oh, when he was doing the throw bys, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what I feel that not that we didn't have it, it was.
It's different. Like,
Yeah.
I think wrestling puts a good spin on jiu-jitsu.
Definitely.
I feel like, I've said this many times that since I was a blue belt, I've been trying to like kind of bleed them through, to make wrestling more like jiu-jitsu or make jiu-jitsu more like wrestling and back and forth, right? Even today, or not today, but like even this season when I'm helping coach like the little kids, like Brandon and middle schoolers, I see stuff and I'm like, you could do, like there's a couple kids in at Blackhawk Club where I help coach at that go to Tommy Cho's gym. And I know they do jiu-jitsu and they go to Brandon's school as well. And I'll see them doing wrestling. I'm like, hey, do you know anything about like octopus guard or using your butterfly hooks? And they're like, yeah. I was like, start using it while you're wrestling. And when you get in these scrambles, because that's when you can really utilize
Use
this.
them.
Mm-hmm.
And now I watch them kind of starting to try it, and it's working for them. They're having success. And some of these wrestlers just don't know how to do anything with it because they're not taught that. You're taught like your old not old, but your fundamental movements in wrestling.
Hold them down.
Hold them down. That's
all strength.
Wrestlers have good pressure.
So
They have good base.
So his jiu-jitsu's helped his wrestling, is what you're saying too. Definitely.
Would you say?
Yeah, I would say.
Yeah. Like, I mean, he started jiu-jitsu way before wrestling.
Yeah.
So I think they marry each other very well.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So
They're both grappling.
yeah, they're both grappling. The concepts are the same,
Mhm.
other than choking and even
Pinning.
in wrestling. I mean, there's some chokehold legal choke. I'm putting it in air quotes. There's legal chokeholds in wrestling.
Some loopholes.
Yeah.
I definitely think there's just that extra drive that a wrestler has, and a guy that just comes in only doing jiu-jitsu that he doesn't know what.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know how wrestlers train. You watch them; they're
Well,
doing
that-
fireman
I'll let you speak to that.
Yeah, that's mostly because they're in wrestling. There's periods, and in jiu-jitsu, it's just one long 6-minute thing. It's like, okay, well, you don't need to burst, and if you're gonna burst, it's at the 1 minute mark. When in wrestling, we have a cardio span for each period, and our break is literally the in between, and it's 10 or 5 seconds. And it's that's what you get, and
it's
then
intense. It's much.
yeah,
more
It's intense.
And it's literally a sprint the whole time
Yeah.
for each period. It's like a sprint each 2-minute period. When
Yeah.
jiu-jitsu, you're just slow and you're like, oh, okay, I can do this. I'm gonna pull guard and wait for him to come into my guard, or I'm gonna wait for my shot to open up.
Yeah.
And rather in wrestling, where it's okay, I gotta go. There's 30 seconds left. I gotta get a shot because I'm down by 2 or something like that.
One thing I like about wrestling that I wish they did more in jiu-jitsu competitions is blood time and injury timeouts.
Yeah.
I feel like in jiu-jitsu, I've seen, in wrestling, I've seen kids multiple times run off the mats and go throw up in a garbage can and then come back on, shake hands, and go again.
Yeah.
In jiu-jitsu, you leave the mat, you get disqualified, and it's over.
Yeah.
So I actually had a match as a blue belt where I wasn't even choking the guy. I think I passed his guard and I was in side control, and he started tapping on me, tapping out, and I'm like, I'm not doing anything. He jumped up, ran off the mat, and threw up.
Oh.
So
And warning you that he was about to hurl.
Yeah, and I looked at the ref, and she looked at me, and she's like, "Well, that's over." I'm like, "Can't we just continue?"
Yeah.
I feel like that's a cheap win. I didn't
Yeah.
want that. So I think it would be cool if it would have been different if he was choking, Or I was choking him and he's tapping.
Yeah.
But if I'm just sitting in side control,
And he has to throw up because
yeah, you know. So I think things like that would be cool to implement in jiu-jitsu, you know. So anyway, going back, purple belt days, COVID days, they're tough competing. What then you got your brown belt, then you left, came to Pico-Pow. Loved it. I'm trying to bring us back. I know we always get on like
You're good.
militarians, so
No.
or whatever they're called. You competed. We talked a little bit about Master Worlds. Tell me what like some of the experiences at Master Worlds. Like you had 13. You said?
Yeah, something like that. It was an odd number. It was 11 or 13.
But you competed in IBJJF a few times before
Yeah.
Masters getting ready for it. I know.
Oh yeah,
we worked pretty hard with you.
Yeah, the year before.
Yeah.
I didn't do. I just tried to do the opens.
You did the Open. You did the
There-
Chicago Open.
Yeah, I went to Indianapolis.
Mhm.
I did that one. I had somebody over there.
Did you ever do Pans?
No, so that's the one. Same thing. I think that one I had already passed. No, I wanted to. The one I really wanted to do was one in California with the pyramid.
That's Worlds, right?
Yeah, but I think that one's just adults. It's
Yeah, I
not
think
masters,
so.
I believe.
I
But
think
that
they-
one's just the experience looks so much. It's so cool because
Yeah.
it's.
I always wanted to go there too.
Yeah, but I saw Lim went there. I saw a lot of pictures, but it's cool because it's the California,
Right.
the pyramid,
Right.
and it's the one that's really popular.
Yeah.
But Worlds this
Master
year,
Worlds
this last
is
one,
huge.
it was probably my best experience in jiu-jitsu where I was just, it was great because I had my kids there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Aaron
Aaron.
was there. Aaron Tam came.
Yep.
They were just freaking awesome. And that's
Yeah,
what I was
they're
saying
great.
before. Like having somebody like that's there all the time that shows you like, you know, hey, we're here. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And
We're-
it's also
we're here
like
to
made it more
support you. We
nervous
care.
because it's like, man, if I'm gonna like do bad, I don't want him to see me. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Do bad, but like he's never been
He's not going to push
hard.
that.
No, like he's never been
Yeah.
hard. Like stupid. Why didn't you do this? Like because I watched the video
Mm-hmm.
like when I lost, and he was giving me everything, like telling me what to do and everything, and I just wasn't listening. You're watching, you know,
Yeah.
you're looking at yourself like pulling your hair out, like why are you not like you know, you're trying to coach yourself
Right.
again.
Right.
You know what I mean? And a lot of it was he was awesome, but again, that was like my best experience ever for like any tournament.
Because you went out. Who else was there with you?
Umberto,
Umberto. That's right. Because he was
he was going,
cross training with us for a little bit to help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, so he was just about. We were both brown
Yeah.
belts, just different, but he
Yeah.
was on.
We were watching. We actually we were recording a podcast with Jonah during Masters, and we were watching.
oh yeah,
We were watching your matches and,
And
his
his dad.
matches.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were actually sitting right here.
And it was cool because he had
it
what's her-
was his matches and it was his dad's, right?
Yeah.
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 his in his bracket. You know how they have like the pits,
Yeah.
whatever, but they have
Yeah.
multiple mats in there.
Yeah.
So he had Fiona Davis in there,
Oh yeah. That's what's cool about that, right?
and the whole time we were like, so we had this big crowd over there, and I still had time to go to my match because his was earlier.
Right.
So everybody's watching Fiona come out. She
Yep.
probably had a 50 bracket, and she, you know, I think she won it. But everybody's watching. Oh, here she comes, and then like Umberto was like right next to her, and I'm just kind of watching, like trying to watch Fiona, and then watching him before I had to leave. But yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what's cool about our sport too. Is like, you could be in the same warm up mat as like somebody that's a celebrity in the sport. you
Right.
know? And like being right there next to like, you can call them celebrities or role models or just high level grapplers that are just top of the food chain there, you know,
Mhm.
and competing on the same mats. I think that's the coolest thing.
Right. The people that everybody looks up to,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Like, I just bought your instructional, or I just stole it off of YouTube.
Right.
I
You
just
know?
saw one of your clips.
Yeah, it's like, yeah. So, because I was there. When was I? I was there, and Mighty Mouse was there.
I saw it.
Yeah,
I
because I'm
watched the
in like
YouTube
all
one.
his stinking
So,
videos.
I was watching him compete as a brown belt
Yeah.
before he got, and then you were standing right next to him, and then I was
watching all his matches. I was standing next to one of his coaches.
I think I was still at LCCT,
Okay.
and then when I saw that, like I said, we were already friends on
Yeah,
Facebook.
because I think I just got my brown belt. That was probably the first Masters I did as brown belt.
So, and then I watched some of your matches. But yeah, seeing you there next to him, and then his coaches telling them, and then it was pretty cool because like you start seeing things that they're telling them to do. So then you kind of put it into your own game, and you try it when you get back.
Right.
You're like, oh, let me, you know what I mean? And then you kind of just.
Yeah. That guy was like downloading the Matrix. They'd tell him like 2 words. And they'd be like, hey, he's going for a loop choke. If he does this, you got to duck and do this. And
right. They were telling him, yeah.
So it was crazy. He was learning gi jiu-jitsu on the fly at like one of the highest level of tournaments that you could have at our age, you know?
And then we're talking about levels. It's like talking about him, right? Being top of the food chain at brown belt. He was rolling with somebody else. Was it Mikey Musumeci?
Yes, recently, right?
I saw the video maybe like less than a year ago. I don't know how old it was, but he was just basically getting toyed. Not toyed with, but Mike just did what he wanted with him.
Oh, yeah.
And then that's when he was talking about, he was like, how many times you train? And then Mike Musumeci was probably talking, he was like, oh, like multiple times a day.
Yeah,
I think like he said, oh, X amount of hours of video I watch and this and that. He was like, man, I'm trying to just be a dad. He was like, I have to work. He's like regular people. He was like, then he said something else funny. He was like, it was hilarious, but it just goes to show you like the levels, like when you go on with somebody that's right.
Oh yeah, and his cardio. You know, you're talking about wrestling cardio.
Yeah, well, he's an MMA fighter, so they have crazy cardio too.
400-500 pounds, they said.
It's crazy.
That's why his double legs are. I mean, not that's the only reason his wrestling's great, but he's just like, I can't squat that.
They were telling me, his coaches were telling me that like he's used to having a 5-minute round in MMA and then having like 2 minutes in between. He's like, you're giving him 5 minutes of a round that's straight grappling and then 5 to 10 minutes in between. He's like, that's a complete reset for him. Yeah. And I was like, I didn't even put that in perspective until they told me that. I was like, holy cow, that's nuts.
Yeah.
So
imagine how it is for like freestyle wrestlers. You get like a 10-second or like a minute break.
But they have a long freestyle. So do you know the difference between freestyle wrestling and folk style?
Not really. Folk
style is more like,
I think it's a rule setting or something like that.
Yeah,
like
there's
certain things you can't do.
Yeah, there's folk style is probably the closest to jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And freestyle is more like your takedowns and throws. Okay. So it's more. I would say freestyle is probably closer to judo. Rule sets, you know. But freestyle, it's only 2 5-minute periods, I think.
It's like 2 3-minute periods.
Yeah, and it's like pure takedowns. And then you have to. The cool thing about that is in between, you have to dry them off because they can't start sweating because they want you to be able to get grips on them and stuff like that. But so there's that. And the tech fall for freestyle is only 10, but it's quick. Yeah. Because all you have to do is like expose their back, and you get.
It just needs a touch.
Yeah.
That's easy too.
So, anyway, what are your goals? This is probably your last year on brown belt if you got your 4th stripe, or close to anyway.
Yeah.
What are your goals?
I think just get better at jiu-jitsu. Actually, something my brother told me that I'm trying to do more now is, and remember at the last belt ceremony, Vienna was talking about what you do. It's not so much like about giving back. Yeah. Right? Whether it's teach or just help out. Yeah. Right? I think that's what I try to do now with Ariana, who trains with us. She's like super awesome kid. Yeah. Trying to just help her get better. And I think the cool thing is once you start doing that, like what you get back is like one day Ramiro was he either messaged me or he told me. He was like, man, I was rolling with Ariana. He was like, and she did something. He's like, that's totally Cesar. You know what I mean?
That's a Cesar move. What are you doing?
She loves her arm bars just like me. I love my arm bars. Yeah. And he tried to do something.
You like the shoulder crunch too.
Yeah. Yeah. But I got away from that. I don't even do it anymore. I try not to because I just kind of relied on that. Yeah. But like now I'm just trying to do different things. But like I said, now it's just trying to be able to just train more, have fun with it, not take it too serious. Because I think I did before, like in my previous days, like I was really hard on myself. Like
Yeah.
if I didn't get to, and not comparing myself to anybody. Like, you know what I mean? Everybody's journey is different.
I was
you know what
just
I mean?
gonna say that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I'm better than I was yesterday and I'm making an impact on one person's life or more, then like I'm good. You know what I mean? I'll be happy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So maybe just trying to just train more. I'm trying to even like work has been really good, like flexible, giving me more time. So I'm trying to come in the morning classes now with Joe and just get a different look, because I think the more you train with different people, right? Because we train on, well, I haven't
100%.
trained with you in a while, but when we do, you kind of know.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to play
Right.
guard, or I'm like,
Right.
and I'm not going to try to even, you know what I mean? But we're
Yeah.
playing. We're
Yeah.
also just having fun.
Right. Right.
So I'm just trying to get better at everything.
Yeah.
Like right now I'm in this worm guard rabbit hole. Like I've been in that for like the last months.
Dude,
but I like it. You know what I
Wormguard's
mean?
great. Aaron,
Yes, and I was telling Aaron the reason why I really started was, it was Saturday, and they were for like for a while after class, and he was just playing, doing stuff, and I was just watching, and had already seen that at some of the tournaments.
Yeah.
Some people were doing. Man, I saw some of the kids doing.
Yeah.
Like some of the yellow
Yeah.
belts. I was
Dude,
like,
that's what started it. Like he
Yeah.
was getting ready for kids pans, and Aaron, we were talking. We did a couple privates with Aaron. I don't know how the worm guard came up.
No, it's because I did a IBJJF tournament, and then
That's what it was. Yeah.
like one of the kids who was like, I guess he was like the previous champ or something like that, and he did worm guard him in. Couldn't do anything against it because I didn't know how to defend it, and I was like, well,
Yeah.
if he's using it, why can't I use it?
Yeah. So Aaron showed him how to
Defend it.
Defend it. You know, because if you can reverse engineer it, I mean, this is probably why your brother's really good at grappling, right? Because he's an engineer, so he can reverse engineer moves. Also, why he's sitting there looking at magazines and be like, huh, he's like brain dumping it, and that's a whole nother talent, you know. But Aaron showed him how to defend worm guard, and then showed him how to apply worm guard, and then, you know, move through it. You know, like here's how you could sweep, here's how you could get to the back, here's how you could just transition to different areas.
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't even know if like you haven't been in a gi in forever. But
No, I'd have to it'd probably have to, click back in.
Yeah.
I look forward to it.
Yeah. Me too.
Only because it's because like I said, I watched him and Aaron for a while, and I remember I was even asking him questions like, well, what do I do? And then he was trying to show me like whatever, like little things, and I was just kind of intrigued by that. And
Yeah.
ever since that, I had these late nights, you know, watching Cornelius and everybody else.
Oh yeah, he's the worm
Yeah.
guard king, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's good. That's good. I feel like we need more like lasso worm guard players. You know,
Right.
like to your point, it's always good to train with somebody different
Mm-hmm.
because different styles, different journeys, different technique. Like James is really good with those arm
James
arm
is
drag
awesome.
setups and stuff like
Right.
that. So is who else?
Joe.
Joe is
Joe's
really good.
awesome.
Joe's in his leg lock game.
Yeah.
And that's a whole nother
Rabbit hole.
Yeah, that's man. You know, Aaron's obviously well rounded.
It's like pick your poison.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what to me that is another beauty of Pika Pau is that we have so many people that are at high levels, you know, and they all have like their own little specialty, you know. To your point, like everyone's got their own journey, so it's cool. Let's talk about motorcycles. You have a motorcycle.
I do.
We went riding like.
Yeah, and we've been talking about doing it more,
Trying to get
but
more,
I think
right?
I think
life
last year
gets in
with
the way.
tournaments and everything going on and for everything.
You know what?
But the weather, look at today, it's
I
61
know.
degrees out. I was just thinking about taking not the bike out, but the bicycle out, just getting
yeah.
some.
That's where Brandon's outside riding his bicycle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Saw him when you pulled up. He's like, "Why don't you come riding with us?" No. It's still for me, like especially on a motorcycle. I saw people yesterday on their motorcycles, and I'm like, it's still a little too cold for me. To
No,
do that.
there's people out there like
Crazy.
yeah, and
Like-
they're out there until December until
Yeah.
it starts snowing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My brother's like that. He'll take his bike out in like 40-degree temperature. And I'm like, I think I took mine out in Halloween and it was cold. And I literally thought, I got bundled up, ready to go out, thinking I was going to go for a long ride. As soon as I hit like the stop sign on the corner of the street, I was like, I'm freezing. I turned around and went back. I was like, there's no way. These guys are dedicated.
Yeah, especially not having like a helmet. So you ride with the
I
helmet.
ride with helmet,
I
yeah.
don't have one.
Yeah.
It's not that I don't. I should have one, Especially since history of my motorcycle is like my dad rode.
Yeah.
Then my dad died on a bike. So like, and the same thing too. Like my dad had like 4 or 5 helmets, but he had them on the wall. My mom would always yell at him and be like, "Why do you have those if you don't wear them?" He's like, "Oh, they're just decorations." You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He didn't want
right.
to mess up his hair.
Right.
So.
You didn't want to mess with, like the wind wasn't going to do that.
No, and now it's like I think, but I do. I should get a bike, but the thing is, my type of bike, it's not really meant for like the full helmet, like the
Right.
face shields that we have or
Yeah,
you guys have.
you should get a.
But I want one of those because
yeah.
you can have now you have the Bluetooth, you can communicate.
Yeah, that's what's nice. That's another
great.
nice thing about it. Like
Especially on a long ride. If
Yeah.
you're going to like what
when we went to Starved Rock, that was like an hour or something, 2
Right.
hours maybe.
So having to communicating with each other, hey,
Yeah.
we're gonna do this and that, it makes it
Yeah.
so much easier.
And I did find it difficult, like when we were stopped and everyone's like trying to talk, but you can't hear anything over
Right.
the pipes. So
Exactly.
it's like, what are we saying?
Yeah, and then I have Vans and Hines pipes, so those are they're extra loud.
Yeah.
Which I kind of want to not have it so like that anymore.
I want it loud. And the only reason I want it is obnoxious having it loud, but like especially if you're trying to talk to someone at a stop.
Right.
But I like it loud because then I feel like people can hear me coming, and maybe it's another way. When you're on a bike, you want to look big, and not because you're like, oh, I'm a big strong guy, but like you
don't
want
want
people to
other
see
people
you.
to-
Right.
You know.
And I think that's what it is. I didn't ride a lot last year.
Yeah.
I don't know. I started getting anxiety now, like being on the motorcycle. Like I had a bad experience. Like with my kid and I, she probably was like less than 10 or 12. I'm not sure. We were just leaving. I lived in Lake in the Hills at the time, and cell phones were getting really popular
Yeah.
then. And this
Oh,
lady
yeah.
almost hit us, and she was. I mean, I'm guilty of it. I do it all the time. I was
Sure.
texting.
or
Right.
taking a
But I
call.
mean,
Yeah.
she almost hit us where my kid even saw it. And if I didn't brake and I didn't wait for her to pass, I mean, she would have hit us.
Yeah.
So
That's
I'm
definitely
really
scary.
nervous now, like riding. If I do, and I definitely not going to ride with, a group of like kids that want to
Kids
go
that
like
just
a
wanna go
buck
100.
60.
Yeah.
Like
Right. No, that's not me either. I don't even get on the expressway.
I don't mind it, but I'm not going to sit there and be hitting over. I don't think I put my bike over 100 miles an hour. I got it
I've never-
close to,
I've
like
never
maybe
gotten close.
90 to 90. I used to ride with friends, you know what I mean? But they used to. I remember one time they were like, "What's wrong with your bike?"
Why can't it keep up?
And I was just like, "Hey, whatever," you know what I mean? I just because like also when you're riding, like a crotch rocket versus you're riding like a bike like mine. That's I got a Kawasaki Vulcan. It's a 900, so it's more of a
It's a cruiser.
cruiser, right?
Yeah.
So if you don't have what do you call it?
It's like it's
A shield, like right, but
Yeah.
it's a fairing.
Yeah, fairing. That's
where
it.
the wind kind of goes over,
Yes.
like it's just hitting you on.
Yeah.
You're eating bugs.
Yep.
You know what I
Yep.
mean? So, but if you're going 85 miles an hour and you get hit with a bug,
Oh,
like
yeah,
it's
dude,
it's
it
gonna
hurts.
feel like a rock. It's gonna hurt.
Yeah. When I first started riding, because my bike doesn't have a fairing, it doesn't have. It's kind of like it's small. It's a lot smaller than yours, but when I first started riding, I had a helmet that had an open face, and that's why I got the full face, because I had a bug hit me right in the cheek, right below the eye, and I'm like, man, if that thing hit me in the eye, I probably would have went down, because like.
Yeah, even having glasses, you're still gonna feel it.
I had goggles on, but like I'm just like, man, that thing hurt. It was like getting hit with a rock. So then I bought the full face helmet, and I'm a very defensive rider, because when I first got my bike, this isn't the only reason, but when I first got my bike, similar thing happened to me, where I was riding down. I just turned off a Randall, and I was down a side street by, somewhere in Batavia, and this guy in a huge Ford truck was coming out. I'm coming this way, and I was towards his left, and he's looking right to make a left, and he starts pulling out, and I see him, and I'm slamming on my brakes, and I'm like looking at him, and then he gets to the middle of the intersection, which is almost blocking my lane, and then he looks over at me. I'm like, dude, if I was a car, I would have hit you. But I'm sitting there thinking, while this is going on, I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to jump off my bike and roll across his, like do a Granby roll across the hood of his truck to try and save my body. And luckily he stopped and I was able to go around him. But I'm like the whole time slowly going around and making like mean mugging at him.
Mhm.
Like I almost wanted to stop and be like, let's have a conversation.
All right.
A mean conversation. I was so mad.
It's just 'cause they're not visible. Like bikes
Right.
are so much smaller. Like
Right.
you don't see them, especially if you're just not
This-
really paying attention.
Pay attention because you're
Yeah.
starting to drive. You
Yeah.
know, like it's important. You need to like pay attention
Well,
to
yeah.
what your surroundings are.
Yeah.
Cars have blind spots. They, you know, it is scary riding a bike. That's for sure. It's
think-
fun, but it's scary. You have to be a defensive.
It's a good feeling though, just
It
being
is.
out like in the ride that we
Yeah.
did. You know,
Dude,
you're
that
out in
was
the
awesome.
open.
That was
yeah,
awesome.
it's just such a free feeling. You know
we
what I mean?
had 5 of us, 6 of us, all
Yeah.
from. Most of us were from Picapau, and then a couple other gyms. We're all grapplers. We just
Mhm.
went to Starve Rock, had lunch, and then came back. It
Yeah,
was
that was
awesome.
good.
It
Yeah,
was a
they'll
lot of
do it
fun.
again. We
Yeah.
have to do it
You know,
again.
what I was telling, what I'd like to do this year I think would be cool is like meet up at Picapau, take like a morning class there, and then ride up to like Joey's gym, do their open mat, and then go have lunch.
That would be cool.
I think that'd be fun. You know.
As long as the weather permits.
Yeah.
I mean.
Right. I'm thinking like midsummer. You know.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I cannot ride in the fall. It's too cold.
Right.
Spring, like, sure, like I didn't take my bike out that much either. It's got to be like 70s for me to want to ride. You know, my brother laughs at me. He calls me a baby. Maybe, but I like to be warm.
I'm the same way.
So
Like I said, there's people out there like December, November on the bikes.
crazy.
I'm no way. My bike's
No.
already put away probably in August sometime. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
there might be some warmer days.
Right. Right.
But
Yeah.
I already got it probably put away.
Yeah. I kind of do the same thing. I don't put it away, but I definitely don't ride it as much. Also, it's hard. If you know, I have 3 kids and they come with me everywhere. You know, they come with me to Picapau. So
It's hard to go on the
you
bike.
can't take a bike with 3 kids. I mean, I've seen it. I've seen videos of them doing it in like India and stuff. But
Yeah, but those are like mopeds.
yeah, they're crazy.
Mhm.
So they don't have street laws. So like we do. But yeah. So what else? What else? I did want to cover one other thing. I thought. I think we did cover a lot though. We talked about your goals, Master Worlds. I think, dude, we covered everything. So, yeah, I think I covered everything.
Yeah. Is there anything like you'd like to share? Any grappling or just anything?
I think I'm just grateful for the people that I've got to train with over the years, whether it's our gym, everybody.
Yeah.
Good experience, bad experiences. I think I've learned a lot from everything.
Yeah. I think the community is amazing.
Oh, it is.
You know.
It's definitely a lot the way it is now,
Yeah.
like the way it was.
It,
You know what I mean? Because
it's
the cross
definitely
training
evolved.
back then wasn't really.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
maybe
think, like
it
we started in 2015.
Yeah. Because we was about 5.
So like cross training, we weren't allowed to cross in Gracie. They didn't really want us to cross train. And
Oh,
we had a closed door, for the most part, a closed door where we weren't getting anyone who wasn't affiliated to Cross and Gracie to come in.
It was the same thing.
So it wasn't until
A little after COVID,
yeah.
maybe.
No, it was before. It was blue belt. I think I know I was a blue belt because somehow I got invited to help start things with Javi. We did little guy open mats.
I remember that.
Yeah.
And I wanted to participate in those a lot,
Yeah.
and it was just.
But that's how I got to meet a lot. That's when I started
Right.
cross training, I think.
Yeah, I think I remember because I saw you a couple of times at Dennis's.
Yeah.
Because Dennis would post a lot of pictures.
Yeah.
I see you there, and I was like, oh, there's that guy, Sean.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But for me, I was training somewhere. It was just. It wasn't.
Yeah,
it
you
was
were
frowned.
bouncing.
It was frowned upon.
Yeah.
So.
I remember in a couple of those, it was frowned upon quite a bit from not just.
I had a
like,
lie about. I didn't tell people like if I went
Yeah.
to. Yeah,
Because we would take pictures afterwards, right? Like kind of
Yeah.
like you take the class photo, and like
a lot of times,
a lot of times there's like
hey, do you
there's
mind
like
if I don't?
yeah, there's
Yeah.
like 3 people, easily 3 or 4 people that like I don't want to be in this photo.
And you know what? And it wasn't anything personal.
Yeah.
All I wanted to do was get better at jiu-jitsu.
Right.
That's all.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you
Yep.
meet different people that are actually really cool. Like, you know, you'll never meet again.
Yeah.
You meet people that are, you know, different professions. They could be doctors, whatever.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about it is, like, some of these people that are, let's just say they're lawyers or, you know, engineers or whatever it is. And I might just be some average, or let alone a kid
Right.
that has nothing. And all of
Right.
a sudden you have this, you know, these people look up to you. You know what I mean? Because of the amount of knowledge you have. So it's, that's the cool thing I liked about jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, people are willing to share.
Yeah.
More, you know, and you know, I feel like every time I go to levels and because I used to do their open mats on Friday mornings.
Yeah.
But I've gotten either busy with work or life just gets in the way. Or
Mornings are hard for me.
Just getting fat and lazy. But every time I was there, I'd learn something new, mostly in the gi, you know, which is funny because I'm not trying to, not purposely, but I think with coaching wrestling now, I'm like leaning more towards the no gi scene than I am the gi. So it's less and less. I think it's kind of funny that we were talking about worm guard too. But I do appreciate the gi a lot, you know, like I feel like, especially at our age, that's where you're going to get the most matches is in gi. So
I think it's much more of a, like, I feel like on the West Coast,
mm-hmm.
like, gi is much more popular. And I feel like more like now it's like over here, like it's like no gi is more popular now.
I think in the
maybe
Midwest,
it's just because of age. Like, I can't find matches, and
Yeah.
maybe like I'm sure you can find a match like no problem. Like
wrestling's more popular out here.
Yeah.
I feel so. Like the Midwest has always been like
Wrestling heavy.
area, you know, like
Okay.
The corn-fed states.
The corn-fed states, yeah. So I think that's why the no-gi is kind of, and no-gi is also evolving more to the wrestler, I think.
Mhm.
You know, like, look at ADCC rules.
Yeah.
They have a lot more wrestling, or wrestling heavy type matches.
It
so.
just the rule set just benefits the wrestler.
Yeah, yeah.
Like just shots in general. Like there's like no out of bounds too, or like the out of bounds kind of thing.
Mhm.
Like they could be like twisted.
Right.
Or
Yeah,
bended.
from ADCC.
Yeah, it could be
oh my
bent
god,
just
some
so
of
you
these
could get
ADCs, these guys are getting slammed outside the mats on
Oh, yeah.
tables.
Oh yeah.
Like, and then they're like, you should try it. No, I'm good.
You know what's funny is that so in wrestling you have the circle, right? And the circle, if you go outside the circle, you're out.
Okay.
And at these little kid matches, they take the big mat, the big circle, and they split it in half or whatever. And Gabe did his very first. He reffed his very first kids tournament, or very
official.
first tournament.
Oh, cool.
And he had these really little
This is my
kids.
very first match.
Not really little. I shouldn't say really little. They're probably like 7 or 8, maybe. And was it the first match?
I think it was.
They wrestled so far that they went off the mat, and the kid pinned the kid off the mat, and Gabe called it a pin. And
Somebody said something because they're supposed to be off the mat. Should be
you're out of bounds. You just reset them back in.
Yeah.
I'm like, Gabe, this isn't ADCC. They can't go off the mat. He's like, oh yeah, all right. But then after that, you're fine.
Yeah,
you know?
it was the first round because I had to get used to reffing.
You know what? I will talk about something that's cool. I do want to talk about something. I'm
Yeah.
glad we did. My experience with refereeing.
That's right. You've reffed before.
Yeah, that'd be a great one to talk about. That'd be great. I hate it. I hate it. I will never do it again. I don't care. Even if I get better at it. It's such a...
It's stressful.
I mean, not only that, I feel like you gain enemies. You know what I mean? Like, I feel...
Oh, possibly, yeah.
Yeah,
Man, because
from
the thing
coaches
is-
and parents.
Exactly. Look at see him, like, by the time he becomes, like, I mean, he's already adult, but I mean, in his 20s, or he's got
Yeah.
all this knowledge
Yeah.
of, like, how, you know, and we're talking about ADCC, IBJF, like,
Yep.
there's different rules. I was a complete white. So, the way so what did I did? Remember I saw you guys where we were at? I think I was still with Luis, but, so anyway, somebody had messaged me, and they was like, hey, you know what? You're a purple belt. Do you want a referee? And it was like $200 something or whatever it was. And I was like,
Free money.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so I was like,
absolutely.
and I was, yeah, but you make sure you guys tell me the rules and everything. What do I need to do? So they're like, yeah, we're going to go over it. But you know how they talk about the rules in the beginning. They kind of bring everybody
Yeah,
together.
they bring all the rest
It's
together,
like a 20-minute introduction or something like that. But if they don't give you a thorough breakdown, I mean, they did, but still, like, I think they're expecting you to have experience and not competing in a lot. You know, I didn't really know a lot. So a lot of times I remember, and I'm not going to say a name, but oh my God, he was so mad at me. And to this day, he still doesn't like me because of that.
Is that right?
I feel like it's that. And you know what? And it was so...
That's like
me being clueless. So I think it was the guy was going to extra. So the match before, somebody reaped, right? It literally was a reap.
Okay.
And the guy's knee popped. And it was actually somebody from my old gym where I was training. Like, he hurt his knee, and then I think he was out for a little bit. So I don't know if he had to get surgery or whatnot, but it was like... So I'm already kind of, okay, just be careful with the reaps.
Right.
Because I think somebody had already told me, like, hey, you know, he was reaping, you didn't. So I'm already getting bashed by one, you know. So the very next match, right, a guy started, you know, he started playing single leg X, right? And I don't think he didn't reap, you know what I mean? But because somebody had already got hurt, I mean, I'm watching
you're
the guy.
more cautious about it.
Oh, yeah, you know, this guy's got ice on there.
Yeah.
And then, so, like, I think the guy starts getting, like, the coach's student was getting a single leg X, and I think it was in the right spot. And I think I gave him a warning, or I probably had said something like, you know, watch the reap or something like that. Again, like, I wasn't really a great ref. I was a freaking white belt with not even a stripe ref, you want to call it.
Right.
Reffing. And I said something to him, and I think he said something to me, and I was just kind of like, didn't say anything. And I think it went a little further. And I said something, and man, he just started yelling. He went and got the owner of the event that was doing it. And he came over, he started telling me I was this, that. And I felt so bad because it was just like, man, I'm just trying to learn a little bit. Because that's what they had told me. I think Luis had said, he was like, yeah, you learn a little bit more, something like that. But
yeah.
I mean, there was a lot of times, like, it was different. Like, you know, I mean, I didn't know the points system at all.
It is harder. So I've reffed a few tournaments. I've reffed Chewy a couple times, which is easy. Like,
so
that's a sub only. Points. So it's like there's no points, but there's points for the kids, you know. So it is, and I feel like reffing kids is more stressful than reffing the adults, and it's not just the kids. Not because the kids could injure themselves. It's because you're dealing with parents, or you're dealing with coaches, and some of the coaches are just jerks.
Oh yeah.
And some of them,
even some of the parents are going to be yelling at you.
And the thing is, like, we know the community, so we know a lot of these coaches, and we know that they know the rules, and they know, not only do they know the rules, but some of them have also reffed, and they should know better. You know, I just feel like they should know better that, hey, we're human, we're going to make mistakes.
Yeah. And
two, if you've reffed before, you don't have to be a jerk to the ref because you know what that's like.
Yeah. I try to be what I went in there
I try
trying
to be
to be
nice.
is fair.
Yes.
I try to be fair.
Yeah.
I even went in there and I had a coach. I had a referee against one of my own gym's kid.
Okay.
And he lost, and I raised the hand of the other gym.
Yeah.
Right. What was they gonna do? And then I got so much backlash off for that.
That's stupid.
And then they went back. They were like, "No, watch the video. You should have gave him points on this and that." And again, it's just like being kind of like not having a lot of knowledge of points and this and that.
Right.
You know what I mean? I was trying to do the right thing,
Yeah.
right? I mean, did I want to raise the other kid's hand? Yeah, but then that would have made me what? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I didn't want to be that guy.
You can't do that.
Oh, I got so much.
You have to be impartial.
Yeah. Not biased.
There's a couple times, like, when I was reffing, I forgot who it was, but it was someone, I think, from Sal's gym. And because they're affiliated at Peek-a-Pow, I just had someone else ref it, you know? And it's not because I didn't want to ref it, or I couldn't, or I wouldn't have been impartial. Thing to do. I just felt like I didn't want to put myself in that situation where it could have come up, you know?
That's what they told me after the fact, that I should have, did that. Had I known that, I just would have said, you know what I mean?
Right.
Then it would have been, wouldn't have been me.
There's a few refs that, like, they don't do it, but, like, they look around to see if there's another ref that could, and they don't do it, but I know who they are, and if I'm coaching, I'm like, it's fine. I know you're not going to be, like, biased. I kind of feel like that happens less, you know? Does it happen? Yeah, I think it still happens, but not that you obviously would not have done that. You were fair and impartial.
But I
think you did
feel
the right
like
thing.
you gain a lot of, because you're always somebody's win, somebody's gonna lose.
Yeah.
And the person that loses, you're gonna be looking at the guy that didn't, you know what I mean? You gave him the loss, so some
Right.
people are gonna frown you, and I feel like that. So, I mean, it's not worth it.
Yeah, yeah. No, I appreciate that and understand that completely. It's a whole nother level of stress. But I also like I was just reaching out to a couple of tournaments for him and myself because, like you said, it's $200, $300 or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
So and they pay their table workers, so I think it's a good way for him to start giving back. you know?
Oh yeah.
You know, like.
But see, he's going in there with experience,
Yeah.
knowledge, more than I ever had.
Yeah.
You know, at
Well,
a purple belt.
competition-wise,
I
yeah.
was a purple belt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Trust me, I don't think I've seen some pretty bad refs. I don't think you could have done worse than what I saw at a couple of these tournaments. And we knock them because, like,
Right.
we some of the things that we do on the podcast is like we'll go to tournaments and do the tournaments, and then we'll review it afterwards. You know, not just like we'll recap the tournament, and not just like our matches, but we'll talk about like
how the tournament was run,
how it was ran,
good,
and
bad
things like that.
officiating.
'Cause I think people should know that.
On
You know,
time.
there's so many tournaments out there. Which ones are real good ones? Which ones are horrible? Which ones has good refs? Which ones don't? You know, and not just in Chicago, but if we travel, we'll talk about those too. You know,
How about coaching during matches?
Coaching's stressful for me.
I don't like it at all either.
You know what it is? It's like they say grappling is like playing chess, right? So like when you're coaching, not only like it's hard to say, hey, go for the triangle. They can hear you say that.
Exactly.
You know, so that
It's a whole talent. And I think,
and I'm a screamer. You know, I'm yelling at them, and part of it isn't like I'm not yelling at them to yell at them or being mad. I want to get my voice across because it gets loud in those.
I
gyms.
know. Usually after some of the tournaments, like how many times did you come back?
No voice.
No voice.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very stressful because sometimes you feel like you know what you should do, but it's hard to. For me, it is.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think
verbalize it.
It's one of those things like the more you do it, the better you get at it.
I think that's what Aaron was just telling me.
So like when I first started coaching, it was hard. Like especially like when you're coaching your own kids, it's even harder. Like
because it gets.
Do you know Izzy? He's like
wrestler.
He roughs a lot of the tournaments.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He's a black belt. I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think so.
When he was coming up and now Brandon's coming up, he laughs at me whenever I'm coaching them. He's like, man, I could feel your stress when you're yelling to your kids. He's like, I get it, it's your own kids and stuff. So he knows, and he's like the only ref that actually says it to me. But it's so funny. So, yeah, coaching is hard. It's hard. How do you feel about teaching, like classes?
I actually just taught it like a class not too long ago, and it was filling in for Aaron while he was gone. It's fun. It's stressful too also.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you're gonna get put on the spot right away. Somebody might ask you something. I realize like now, if you don't know what to say, don't make anything up. Maybe just say,
Yeah. Right.
I'll get back to you on that.
Yeah.
You know,
Let
and
me
then
look
find
into it.
out.
Yeah.
But it's definitely, like I said, I think that's the part of like trying to get back. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? If you can help somebody else. And the cool thing about it is like, so you show somebody something like that same day, somebody did like the move of the day, like on me. And then it was just like, he caught the sweep and I started laughing just because of the fact it was like, we just did it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like if you got something out of that, then man, it's worth it for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like it. I just, you know, some people are very fluid like Aaron. It's just to be able to say something without it has like there's no pause.
Right.
And with me, sometimes I'm just very like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So here's what I'll say about that. Aaron is a fantastic teacher, but think about how many classes have you taught?
Oh, probably only two or three. Three. It was
And-
one that was kind of a spur of the moment, like it was just, and then two trying to prepare for, so trying
Right.
to, yeah.
So all right. So keep that in mind. How long have you been consistently doing jiu-jitsu?
On and off. Oh, probably, I'm just saying we're about 15 years, maybe.
Yeah.
15.
Aaron's been teaching probably that long. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Okay, so that's where it's
because he, even from like kids, you know what I mean? Like we started in 2015. Aaron was already teaching kids.
Yeah.
You know, and then he was also teaching adults at that time as well. Because I'd stop in on his Friday classes, and then he left Aurora, went downtown to headquarters and Viana's, and was teaching in both places, and multiple classes a day. You know, so. You know,
the experience.
Yeah, like we go back to talking about people that were doing classes, like multiple classes in a day. It was Mikey, you know, when Mighty Mouse was talking to Mikey about how many times did he train a day and blah, 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 or how often is he training. Aaron's the same way, you know. So he's teaching all these classes, getting all this knowledge and sharing all the knowledge back, getting more comfortable and confident. That's what teaching is, being comfortable and confident what you're teaching is the right thing, you know.
And then seeing them use it and then know that it's right.
Right. So that's, to me, I hate public speaking. So teaching was
So I
like
think that's
so
what it is.
hard.
That's what it is. You're getting put on the spot.
Yeah.
And it's very, yeah.
It's tough. It's, you know, it's tough. It's not, I'm a competitor. In my mind, I'm still a competitor, even though, like,
it goes back
it's
to,
hard.
like, being able to give back, like I said.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you give somebody just something and maybe later you see them do it again, and I think somebody had told me once, hey, I really like that arm crunch that you do, like that little detail or whatever it was, or, you know, you know what I mean? That's like the kind of joy that you get back.
Yeah, it's a little, it's satisfying.
Satisfaction from it.
Satisfaction from it. So, like, yeah, absolutely. Anytime, I had someone tell me, where was it? I think I was showing, there's some takedown, and then somebody hit it in a competition, and I was like, wow, this is pretty cool, because we just went over that. Not that I may have taught it to them, but the fact that we
You
just
helped
went
them
over it.
over it. Yeah, and
Maybe I just renewed something in their brain, and they felt it and hit it. So that is, like, satisfying to see. You're right. Especially any student. And so, cool. I think we could wrap this up.
Yeah.
So
I think we covered a lot.
Cool. So that being said, what's next for you? Anything? Anything coming up? Any good plans?
Grappling wise?
Yeah.
Trying to see if there's anybody in my brackets. Hopefully, if there's
IBJF.
Anybody in IBJF 141 Masters 4, please sign up.
Brown belt.
Email me. You know, I'll do Indianapolis, whatever. I mean, thinking about maybe Worlds again.
All gi.
You know, I wanted to do a little bit of. I just like the gi. I don't know what
Yeah.
it is right now. I kind of like.
I have
really
a love.
do.
I have a love hate. I like the gi because it brings another challenge. You know, I like no gi. I think I do like the gi more. I don't know. I don't know.
They have their pros and cons.
I
Both
go
of them.
back and forth over it. Like every time I think about, I'm never gonna put a gi on again. I put a gi on, and I'm like, I love this thing. Why would I want to take it off? You know. So, for me, I just want to train.
I think that was the next thing I was gonna say. Is like if I can compete, be super happy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But either day, if I can just wake up and go train tomorrow, you know that feeling after
Yeah.
you're done, you're just like kind of like that.
You're blessed.
Oh yeah.
You know?
And if I wake up tomorrow, I know I'm gonna be able to train like that. So if I could just stay healthy all year and train, I mean, maybe that's the goal. I mean, tournament, great, just to be able to see like where I stand again, you know, at my level. But yeah, you know, just stay healthy, just keep competing, meet people. You know what I mean? Because when I met somebody from the morning class. I never got to know. It was a purple belt. I don't remember his name, but he was super cool. I never got to roll with him before.
I do feel like this is a shout out to you, Joe. That I do feel like, and him and I have had this conversation. So all you morning crew, it'd be nice to see them at like an open mat in the afternoon. Not all of us are morning people.
Yeah.
You know,
The early bird.
Yeah, I know they have like a 6 a.m. open mat as well. But
I
oh my
always say
God,
that's
so
this
rough.
people, the morning people, is a different breed.
They are
and I mean
different,
in a
man.
positive way.
Yeah,
It's so
it is.
for me to get up and to be able to be there. Like I had the day off that day, I got to train with them, so it was great.
Yeah.
So then I got to take a nap when I got back home. But yeah, man, it's definitely cool when you get to train with somebody new.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I agree. It is cool. I kiddingly say that because I know everyone's schedules are tough. These guys, like you said, they're lawyers or, you know, engineers or what have you, dads, moms. So their schedules are their schedules, and that's why they
Right.
train.
It works out for them.
Yeah.
And that's the cool
They
thing
fit
about
it
having
in. That's
having
it.
a gym that has all of that available.
Yeah, totally.
It's freaking awesome.
Dude, yeah. I mean, we have classes like all time.
Every day.
Every day
Mhm.
at all different times. So it's awesome.
Is that run by the same person? You have different minds doing
Yeah.
it too.
Mhm.
Yeah. So it is cool. To me, I've said it multiple times. I feel like Pico Pow is very much like a Disneyland to us. you
But
know?
definitely got to get on the bike more this year. So that's
Yeah.
another goal. Like it's maybe doing another one of those rides that we did.
Yeah.
Maybe if we can get
I
some
want-
more people.
I want to get Cesar, you,
Romero.
Cesar, Romero, and I think Nick sold his bike. So we'll get a couple people. Your cousin. went
Yeah,
with us
our
one
brother
time, right?
too. He rides.
Yeah.
So we'll try to get but that'd be pretty cool to do.
I think that'd be awesome. Like some type of like grappling and bikes event or something.
Mhm.
You know, maybe we can throw like the word out there. I know Don at Levels, he's got a bike. He'd probably join us. So I'm trying to get Mike Remoto to buy a bike. So every time I talk to him, I'm like, buy a bike now. I think so.
I got a scooter.
He's got. Get Joe. We should get Joe a scooter. Joe wants to get a sidecar. So I don't. Yeah. Anyway, I think that'd be fun. Getting on a bike, going to get food, go grapple. Cool. All right, we can wrap this up. So until next time, see everyone on the mats. Peace out.